Picasso was the most famous artist in the world.
Picasso's legacy went far beyond his art.
As a genius, a womanizer, an egomaniac.
Many affairs.
Is the Weeping Woman. It's not the most traditionally pretty painting in the world, but it's not really supposed to be.
Picasso called her his private
The 20th century's most influential and prolific artist.
Who were these women and how they inspired art of Picasso?
She's an artist. Look it up.
I certainly feel like it is not a mistake that I'm in her bedroom.
We kind of consider it as like a breakup gift from Picasso. They met in mid-1930s in Paris, at a cafe in Paris, and it was like immediate fusion between them. She was playing the knife game, I can't remember the name of it, but it's, you know, where you stab the knife in between your fingers. He kept the bloodied gloves that she had. She gave it to him as a little present, I guess. So she was well known before she met Picasso. She was already a well-known photographer. She was working with lots of fashion houses. She was one of the few women taken into the Surrealist group in Paris, and well-known portrait photographer as well. She had her own studio. So we are up in Minerbe, which is one of the hilltop villages in the Luberon area of Provence. Artists have flocked here since pretty much all of time. There's kind of like a special light here. And she had the house in 1944 up until her death in 1997. So he gave her a painting in order to purchase this house. He wanted to give her a place to really work and be calm and be in the quiet outside of Paris, which is where she also had an apartment and studio as well. So at the beginning of her time having the house, she did still welcome people in and was still really a part of the different artistic communities. Of course, Picasso did come with François Gillot, and then their relationship lasted around 10 years. Though, of course, he was with other women. He was with Marie-Thérèse Walter at the beginning of their relationship, and then left Dora for François Gillot. And then later in her life, she really kind of started isolating herself and wasn't really being a part of many communities besides the church. At the end of her life, she was only using around 3 rooms of the house, so her bedroom, the kitchen, and then of course her studio. But you can imagine this house is absolutely massive. So for one individual person to kind of have to deal with the upkeep was probably a lot. Nancy Brown-Negley, who purchased the house after Dora's death, she realized that yes, there was quite a lot of work to be done because when she purchased it, she wanted it to become an artist residency. So we are also in a residency program for artists and writers, and that kind of includes everything under the umbrella of the arts and humanities. So it's not just visual artists, but we also have poets, musicians, performing artists. We've had a dancer and some actors. And then, of course, we also have art historians and curators who come through. So this month in July, we have Dan Nadell, TJ Dodonoris, and Paula Toto-Blick.
I definitely feel like something really magical is happening. I certainly feel like maybe she's even like guiding me in some way. My name's TJ Dodonoris. I'm an artist and professor, and I currently live in Iowa City, where I'm a tenured associate professor in the School of Art and Art History. When I got here, I was told that this studio was actually Dora Marr's bedroom. That really moved me deeply. And during the pandemic, I lost my mother and my grandmother, and I had some health stuff as well. And I spent a lot of time in my own bedroom, sort of in a sad, depressed grief state. One of my first jobs upon making it into the studio was me going through my iPhone of multiple years and making an album, a photo album of all these selfies that I took. There's nearly 200, mostly as a witness to my grief, like just wanting to document what it looked like to feel so bad. The process has been me projecting the photograph onto the wall there, and I just sort of squat down over on the floor and I make a portrait. I'm looking at the light while the content, like the image, is maybe dark or sad or heavy. I'm looking at light. It's a projection. To be in proximity to somebody so powerful, there is power in that. Her relationship with Picasso was so complex, and how it impacted the production of her work or lack thereof, and the sacrifices that she made to be sort of like in the mix of all of that, and what it means for her to be like a woman, young surrealist artist, and Picasso being this big figure, how the power of that sort of engulfed her.
I think that what's really appealing about it is one, which, in the financial aspect, the artists don't pay for anything while they're here. So we actually give them scholarships for trips here as well as transportation home. They're also given scholarships for their time here, and then of course a per diem. So really kind of everything is taken care of for them.
My name is Paula Toto Blake. I was born in La Plata. I live in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I started this work because in the past I was teaching in Argentina in poor neighborhoods. For me, it's inspired because I like the history for the women. All the women moved with the other country for the utopia and dreams. I make one work also with the photograph and made the text in French. I like for this work more international, like one layers for one life, layers and layers, and paper and painting. Que no esperen resultados inmediatos, que trabajen honestamente, que un poco lo dije anteriormente, sin esperar que el mercado los reconozca, pero que si hacen un trabajo honesto, realmente de corazón, las cosas a la larga siempre suceden y son reconocidas. Pero que no estén especulando con el afuera, con el mercado, con las galerías, con la aprobación. Me pasó en una residencia que hice en Estados Unidos, que vi a la gente muy joven, muy preocupada porque en qué galería estás y cómo esto y lo otro. Y por ahí había unos europeos que estaban como muy relajados, enfocados en Oriente. Y entonces fue para mí también comparar como situaciones muy diversas. Y yo vengo de Argentina, donde hay una crisis económica enorme. Y sin embargo, cada vez hay más arte. O sea,
she was definitely known to have we could say, a very strong personality and character. So I don't know how she would really feel about the program and about all of us that are coming through here. We like to say that she likes to haunt us in different ways, whether she's liking what we're doing or not. But I really just, it's hard because she had such strong opinions about a lot of things that I'm sure she would have something to say about what we're doing, whether she liked it or not. Artists in residence, or fellows, we say, they are asked to put on a salon, which is part of their community outreach during the residency program. So the salon we do every month, which is March through November of every year, and the current artists will then have to present their work to the public.
I heard about Taco Tuesday. I'm sorry I'm missing it.
We try to come every month, and I've signed up for the newsletter. So on the first of the month, I get the newsletter in my email, and I check out who's coming. So I heard about the Dora Marr house. I read about Picasso, and I heard the name mentioned. So I was intrigued. And what I appreciate is that it's a mixture of artists.
I kind of fall in love with these events. Not every artist is interesting to me, but now and then I encounter something that inspires me. It makes me want to go home and write or paint, even though I'm not a painter. When I come here and touch base again with what really matters, that means a lot to us.
So sometimes it's what they're actually working on right now, what they're doing here at the house. Sometimes they're not ready to show that type of work yet either. So maybe they'll read us from a past book that they've written. Maybe they'll show us slides from a past exhibition. It's really flexible in what they want to show to us.
At the Dora Marr house, for a month.
Entonces, frente a la crisis, redoblemos la apuesta, sigamos construyendo. Yo hoy estoy acá y agradezco a Dora Marr, a la residencia, agradezco poder estar acá. Así que les digo a los jóvenes que crean en lo que, en su pasión, en su vocación y en lo que sienten por lo que hacen.
10 days ago, I started to make pleasure self-portraits. I'm really wanting this process to be something that's going to get me on the other side of my own healing. Being in this space, okay, oh God, here we go. You know, I do feel like this was her bedroom. I'm channeling her. I'm being asked to step into my power as a woman, as an artist. Whew.
I think we're very ambitious, but in a good way. I'm sure she would be really pleased to know that we're trying to keep her name alive. Unfortunately, now we think of her more as his muse and companion or mistress, rather than an artist herself. Her name started to come back in the last few years about Dora the artist and not Dora Picasso's mistress.